What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again for another career video. Today, we have another former Blackhawk coach. He coached the remainder of the 21-22 season after Colleton was fired. I kind of forgot about him, to be honest, until I thought about it last video. Derek King had an NHL career, now an assistant coach for the Blackhawks under Luke Richardson. Derek King was drafted 13th overall in 1985 by the New York Islanders. Islanders at this time, they just ended their streak of going to the final. Of course, 1980, 81, 82, 83, they win the cup all 4 of those years, and then 84, they lose in the final. 85 is the first year they don't make it to the final in 5 years. So, King's coming in at a time where it's starting to fall apart on Long Island. But he doesn't make his debut until 1986-87. And he plays 2 games, no goals, no assists, no points, and he didn't. Even though the Islanders made the playoffs, he did not play in them. And 1987-88, 55 games played, 12 goals, 24 assists, 36 points. In the playoffs, 5 games played, no goals, 2 assists, 2 points. For your first full season, I guess you can count it that, even though he didn't play the full season. That's not bad. 36 points in 55 games is not bad at all. And what's interesting about this, up until 1989-90, sorry about that. Up until 89-90, he is still spending time with the AHL affiliate at the time. Was it Springfield? I don't remember what the team name was called. But yeah. So he has crazy totals in like the OHL, in AHL, but in the NHL, he's not really given the chance. He's like not even playing full seasons. 88, 89, 60 games played, 14 goals, 29 assists, 43 points. As the Islanders start to fall out of the playoffs, and he would not play in the playoffs that year. 89, 90, 46 games played, 13 goals, 27 assists, 40 points. 4 games played in the playoffs, no goals, no assists, no points. So he's finally probably got a spot legitimately in the lineup. 1990-91, 66 games played, 19 goals, 26 assists, 45 points. It's his best statistical year yet. No playoffs for the Islanders that year. But 91-92, he blows the roof off everything. 80 games played, 40 goals, 38 assists, 78 points. Pretty good year. He's also playing with Pierre Turgeon, the newly elected to the Hall of Fame. So that is probably helping his totals. But 40 goals, not too shabby. I believe it was tied for 10th in the league that year. There were like 8 guys when I was looking up this stat had 40 goals that year. So I'm saying that had exactly 40 goals. There was a lot more that had more than 40 goals. But yeah, so unfortunately there's no playoffs on Long Island. 1992-93, he continues it. 77 games played, 38 goals, 38 assists, 76 points. So he's getting into the 70-point range for 2 consecutive seasons now. In the playoffs, the Islanders go on a run as they upset. Who did they upset? They beat Washington in the first round. That's when Turgeon gets injured because Dale Hunter decides, I'm going to try to kill this guy after he scores a goal. Then they beat Pittsburgh, who won the President's Trophy that year, so they upset both of them. And then they go up against Montreal, where Patrick Roy slams the door shut. 18 games played that playoffs, 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points. He plays a large role. 1993-94, 78 games played, 30 goals once again, 40 assists, 70 points. In the playoffs, however, they go up against the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers, and they are obliterated, the Islanders. 4-game sweep. He gets no goals, 1 assist, 1 point. He's lucky. Because the Rangers, that is, to this day, I think the craziest stat totals I've ever seen for a series. That is the most dominated I've ever seen a team get by a team in a series. Those 94 Rangers were not going to be denied. Bizarre noise. 94-95 in a shortened season, his point totals kind of fall off. 10 in 43 games, 10 goals, 16 assists, 26 points. The Islanders fall back out of the playoffs, and now we're into the Mike Milbury era. Sorry about that again. But Mike Milbury takes over, and you know what he does? He makes a lot of trades, so we'll get to that. So the rug kind of falls out from under him as he only gets 26 points then in 43 games. 95-96, 61 games played, 12 goals, 20 assists, 32 points. Minor bounce back, not really as much, honestly. This points ratio is much better than this one. 1996-97, he plays 70 games with the Islanders, where he has 23 goals, 30 assists, 53 points, so good bit of a bounce back there. Sorry about that once again. A lot of noises outside. But on March 18, 1997, so at the trade deadline, there's a trade. He's traded to the Hartford Whalers for a 1997 fifth-round pick, which would end up being Adam Edinger. You traded a guy who had 53 points in 70 games for you for a fifth-round pick. That's definitely one of the more questionable deals. And in those 12 games with Hartford, who doesn't even make the playoffs, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points, so he ends up having 59 points over an 82-game season, which would be his first 82-game season, believe it or not. And it would be his only one. 1997-98, he signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs, so essentially they traded him to Hartford for chump change. And then he signs with Toronto. 77 games played, 21 goals, 25 assists, 46 points. Still got a bit of gas left. At this point, he is 11 years into his career, 1985. So he was drafted 13 years ago. So he's getting up there in age. I'd say around 33 or 35 years old. So he's played a long time by this point. 1998-99, 81 games played, 24 goals, 28 assists, 52 points to show that he is not done. In the playoffs, the Leafs go on a bit of a run. They go to the conference final. They lose to Buffalo, 16 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. 1999-2000, he plays 3 games with Toronto, no goals, no points, no assists, before on October 20th, he's traded to St. Louis with an 8th round pick in 2000 for Tyler Harton and an 8th round pick in 2000. What's with Derek King getting traded for absolutely nothing after he's put up good numbers? 19 games played in St. Louis then, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. He did not play. That was the St. Louis President's Trophy winning team. He did not play in the playoffs for them that year, and thus would end his NHL career. He played a ton in the AHL as well. He had fantastic totals in the AHL and the OHL. Every league he played in, he played well. And like you see these seasons here, 78, 76, 70, and even later in his career, 53. He has 59, 52. I wonder why. I don't know why his value would have been so low. I don't. Maybe because I wasn't around at the time. Maybe there's something I'm missing here, but I do not understand why he's traded for so little. But looking at his career totals, 830 games played, 261 goals, 351 assists, 612 points in 830 games. That's not bad. So this makes me even more just confused what's going on here. In the playoffs, he only plays 47 games, as he only makes the playoffs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Goes on a run 2 of those times. Well, I mean, he doesn't play in the play. He only plays in the playoffs 5 times. 4 goals, 17 assists, 21 points in those 47 playoff games he plays. Farthest he got was the conference final with the Islanders and with the Leafs in 93 and 99. But played for a good 15 years, and overall pretty good career for Derek King. So that's really all I have for you guys today, just another coach recovering. I have an idea of who I'm going to do next. Could be a former coach, if you consider him that. I mean, he is a former coach, that's for sure, but also a hell of a player too. So we'll probably take a look at that next time. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.